So, I don't know. If you follow my Facebook, you know that my husband and I get along very, very well. That we are partners. That there's not a whole lot of arguments that we have. We are working out how to help each other be their best selves in more of a tough love manner. Um, which means that whether you like it or not, it's going to make them uncomfortable. Sometimes you have to demand that they do certain things, whatever it is. And yeah, we've actually been having some disagreements. Um, wow. Uh, it's just so uncomfortable. There's so much to it. Um, it's a situation that is affecting our children, and it is a situation that has us being painted in a light that is so not at all who we are. Um, it's not at all who we are. We're being painted as criminals, and we're not even close. Um, which I believe that the truth will come out in the light, and that they'll, we'll go ahead and go with the whole Hollywood thing, the Weinstein thing. The truth is coming out, and I believe that this is part of the process, um, which doesn't make it any more comfortable when you're going through it. As long as there's a good outcome to this, and that people can be served and their lives can be made better, even if just by the example, then we'll make it. As long as it's worth it, and it has to be. Um, but just to realize that it doesn't matter how close you are to somebody. If you don't want, there's so much anger at the surface. Um, and sometimes when anger comes out, it totally contradicts what you said to somebody in the weeks coming up, like, leading up to a conversation. Uh, my example is that my husband was trying to tell me that he couldn't talk on the phone to me while he was at work. And that's cool, man. Totally. Totally cool. As a matter of fact, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, he just got through bragging on the fact that I didn't have to talk to him while I was at work. And I usually keep a running commentary on his messenger from Facebook for me, but it's just factoids. Things that I would have normally mentioned to him had we been around each other, and stuff I didn't want to forget. Nothing important, nothing to take his time away, nothing that even requires an answer. And I can show you the streams where it's just been a thread of anecdotal comments, like check out the new Grant cartoon thing or whatever. And he was trying to tell me that I talked to him while he's at work, and I was like, and I'm going to be honest, I was like, fuck you. I don't accept that. I don't accept that. When we were first together, I was so insecure that I called him all the time at work. Um, to be honest, like I don't know, he planned guy nights when we first got together. There was always some sort of major drama going on with my family over my older children, and it was all kinds of nightmare stuff. And it always happened, it seemed, on the same, in conjunction with him planning a night out. So he hasn't had many of those. Um, what that had to do with anything, I really don't know. I really don't know. Anyway, back to the anger that rides on the surface. When you don't want to do something, you don't want to do something. You're not angry at the person that's reminding you need to do it. You're angry that you have to do it. You're not angry that they haven't done it. You're angry that it's falling on your shoulders and it's your responsibility. And so we ran through that today, and it was a phone call that needed to be made in conjunction to what is going on with the kids. It's to an attorney, and I didn't want to make the phone call. I didn't. He is the man. He it's a double-edged sword. He wants to be able to support me. But I may not have to work. So let's see. We've got a t-shirt website that he's set up. Um, I've got a coaching page. That's all I can say because I don't have any paying clients so far. I haven't launched. Still formulating. 45 pounds is a lot, and I can teach you how to lose 45 pounds. I've got to figure out how to put myself out there so that I can teach people how to do this. I'm not done. This whole fasting thing that I've been doing for the last week is to get to the next place so that I can lose the next 15, 20 pounds. And then I'm done. I don't want to go down any further than that. It'll put me at 165, 175. I always fluctuate 5 to 10 pounds. Give myself that. I'm getting older. I'm going into menopause. My periods aren't regular, so it's not the same consistent weight and water gain in conjunction to the hormones like it was when I was younger. But it still fluctuates. And I really haven't figured out exactly the rhyme or reason to it at this point. I know that our diet affects our hormones. I know that for a long time, my go-to meat was chicken. You read enough about cows, and you read enough about pigs, and okay, so you make yourself okay with chicken, then you start reading about chicken. Pretty soon, you don't even want to eat the chicken. I mean, the chicken breasts are bigger than mine, or as big. Bless their hearts, I don't know how they carry that crap around. Anyway, so we went off the chicken, and my periods regulated for a period of time. My husband's sex drive came back with a vengeance. Now that's in conjunction to my weight loss, so probably had a little bit to do with it, but not all. At least that's his report, and I can tell you that it did increase, but not more than it had been at times in the past. So much of our lives are controlled by our diet, our nutrition, what we put into our bodies, how it affects our hormones. Our bodies are absolutely amazing. Our brains can be trained to do anything. That one just blows my mind. Blows my mind. You can train your brain to be positive, you can train your brain to be negative, you can... And it takes time. It didn't take time. It took time to get to a certain spot. It's going to take time to get to the next. No different than weight loss, guys. I mean, let's see, I carried most of my extra weight. I carried for 10 years. Wow. So it didn't take me 10 years to get most of it off. And I will be where I'm comfortable. I'm not going right back to my lowest weight. That's not even really my target. It's about 5-10 pounds heavier than that. I'm going to be fine, comfortable. And Not overweight. Barely, but that's all I need. Seriously, I mean, I used to I used to argue with the BMI because I was like, I am not even close to overweight, but I had a lot of muscle. I was a soccer player and stuff. So at this point in my life, you can do all kinds of research on the BMI, and you can see that there's some. It's a general guideline. It's not exact. That there's not perfect science when it comes to those things because we're still learning, guys. We spent all of these years, and we're talking, I guess, like over 100 years. We have been trying to prescribe medication instead of utilizing diet and herbs. So now we've got all this unlearning and relearning to do. Because if you can't, yeah, you can't. I can't know what I know, read what I've read, and think that prescription medication is a good thing. In almost any respect. There's a time and place for antibiotics, not nearly as readily prescribed as it seems they are. I don't know that I still use some Aleve on occasion. I know that that's not great, but it's better than a lot of other things, and sometimes that's all that you do is just make the best choice you have available to you. Opioids and narcotics and stuff, forget that. It's just, that's horrible. And now they're starting to do research that Lyrica and pregabalin, I think. Anyway, that class of drugs keeps your brain from creating new connections, and there's just all kinds of crazy stuff that these meds do to us. And if you don't do the research, then and the doctors don't do the research. They don't have time. Every time a new drug comes out, they don't have time to research it and see how it's going to affect their patient. They're all living in this world hoping that this is the answer because that's the answer they've been given. That's the option they have to give you. The average doctor spends, I don't remember, but it's like no time on nutrition. None. I can honestly say that I was taking my prereqs and my coreq. I was taking my prereqs and coreq for the nursing program, and my nutrition. Of course, I got an A because I took it online, and it was honestly kind of a joke. I learned what I wanted to learn from the book, and then I have done research independently from that day forward. But as far as what I learned in college nutrition, as far as helping someone get their nutrition under control and eat what they need to feed their body and feel their best, hell, not even close. Not even close. So there's so many different layers of all of that. Just okay, let's just go in now to the people that are in my profession, my line of work, health and wellness coaches. Um, First of all, it seems like 90% of the health and wellness coaches are selling an MLM. I guess if the product, I don't know, I can't. That's not me. I'm not that person. I don't want to make my money off of some processed product. There are good supplements out there. Supplements are necessities. I mean, are necessary for some people. Our soil, there's a lot to it, but our soil's been leached. A lot of our minerals, trace minerals, and things that our body actually needs have been farmed out of our soil. So therefore, It's not a bad idea, at least not a bad idea, to take a vitamin of some sort, depending on what you know about your body and its needs. And that's what you do. Um, so it can be a necessary tool, but it's not an absolute tool. It's not a must. So therefore, that's not something that it's not who I am. Maybe the reason that I'm sitting here starving to death is because that's not who I am. I don't want you to pay me. Yeah, I do. I want to help people. And in order to help people, I have to find a way to monetize my intellectual property. I have to. In order to help people, I need an income. And then anything that surpasses my basic needs to go to reach out, help people, build other people up, answer questions, problems. There's, buy cars for people. Why not? Whatever it is, because there's a million different situations. I just want to have a fund that is available so that I can tap into it, and assist someone with a hand up when I feel that my intuition is leading that, when I feel like that's what the universe wants me to do. So that's one of my goals. My goals. Do you have goals? I hope so. What would life be without goals? Even if they're subconscious. Everyone has goals, even if they are subconscious. And for some people, that drives them even subconsciously to be the person that they were meant to be, or their blueprint tells them that they were meant to be. And then you've got the people that life just happens to. And at some point, it was more than they could do. And those people are, when I say that, there's so many things. I did that for a period of time with alcohol. It was just more than I thought I could handle. I'll never completely understand that part of myself. It was my way of abusing myself after I had left all of my abusers. That's the God's honest truth about my alcoholism. It was my way of perpetuating the abuse after my abuser committed suicide. And then as far as my parents, and that I didn't have any real relationship with them much anyway. But yeah, there's nobody left to abuse me, so I began to self-sabotage. I actually was dabbling with it before my husband died. Honestly, I wasn't drinking very much at all. It was nothing more than a quart on the way home from school. But here I am, I'm drinking a quart of beer in the car, driving down the road on the way home from school. Anyway, wasn't enough that I ever got caught. That was part of it, was to see, it was testing. I'm a tester. I like to test my boundaries with other people because I have a real problem setting boundaries for other people with myself. Okay. But I'm learning. That's really all we can do. Just do a little bit better every time we figure something out. Implement it a little bit. Tony Robbins says a 2 millimeter shift. That's 2 millimeters, nothing, but it's everything. It's forward progress, positive change. And our positive changes create so many ripple effects, just like the negative changes I've done in the past. Yeah. Alright, well, I'll probably record here in a little bit. But right now I'm kind of done letting my mind wander and speak to you.